Oh, hey guys, here's this hydraulic tank off that W235 John Deere swather. I need to put a couple more of them lights over here, but I just haven't had time to do that either. Let's get this on. I don't know, this camera's pretty good, but let's get this light maybe over here, the big old snap-on light. Let's see. Can you see where the crack? Let me get this angled. Can you see the crack? It comes up and goes right there. Same where it's cracked all the way around the bead on this one and goes up here. This one doesn't appear. Well, yeah, it's starting to crack around the bead too. Now this top one looks to be okay. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a drill. I'm gonna drill it right here. And then I'm gonna probably like drill it right by the bead. And then I'm going to take this one as well and drill at the end of the crack. And see if we can, then we'll try to make a root pass, a 6011 across it. We'll have to clean the paint off, of course. So we'll probably, I don't know if I can see the crack pretty nice with the paint on it, so I'll probably drill it right now and then take the wire wheel and clean the paint off of it. And then we'll go over it with 6011. I'm debating on whether I should just basically weld from the bottom and go up to here. I mean, what do you do in this situation? Do you go clear around the whole damn thing and just weld the whole damn thing solid? Because you just wonder if all the rest of these are gonna crack later? You know, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna go around the whole damn thing, I guess. And just try to fix it one time. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I've got the 6011 down to 75 amps, the low setting for 1/8 inch rod. I really should probably be using some, what I should be doing is taking the cap off this thing. Now I've got the vents open right there, but anyway. What I'm gonna do, I'm trying to get my cracks filled in, and I'm gonna go over the whole thing, clean it all up. What I'm gonna do is after I get the 6011 and get the cracks filled in, let's go ahead and clean this up. Yeah, so that part of the hole showing right there. The only thing, if you're a little bit over your amperage for the thickness of your steel, you just got to move quick, which is what we're doing. Try not to blow through. So we'll go over this again. I gotta get this slag on this one here. I don't know why that one did that so much, but anyways, this one looks a lot better. We'll go over this one again. I got to get these holes filled in, and then I think I'll clean the whole thing up. We'll make root passes at 6011, and then we'll go over the whole thing with 7018 all the way around it. Well, okay, so that's 6011 as a root pass, a couple root passes, and then 7018 as a filler. So I think we'll do the whole thing like that. That's what I think we'll do. Now it'll probably just crack all the way around it. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, so here's my handiwork. This is the side of his leaking here. But anyway, it turned out okay. My whole school of thought here, or train of thought I guess you could say, is those tacks, with the tension on it being up against that plate the way it was, my thinking on that whole situation was that it was putting pressure points on it, and that's why it was breaking. Maybe the pressure will be more evenly distributed now with a weld all the way around it. I left the ends open, maybe to do a little flex or anything there, or if moisture or water gets down in these holes and then it can't freeze, at least it has somewhere to go and drain down here, is my thoughts on that. But I've got everything plugged off on the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and get water in it and fill it full of water, and then I'm gonna, you know, I'll pull all the plugs and make sure it's completely drained. And can I get this screen out of here? Maybe fill it a little bit faster, maybe. I don't know if that's possible or not. Okay guys, so I have filled this thing 3 different times. This is the 3rd time. 4th time. So what the deal is here, all these openings here they've left where they put the bungs for the threads in there for these fittings, there's a gap there. So what's happened here is I was getting, where I fixed the leaks over here on this side, it wasn't leaking any at all. But it was running out the bottom where it was open, but there's no crack down here. And then I realized that either it's cracked where those tacks were on the inside of this plate where I can't get to them, or, I mean, the right thing probably would have been to do is I probably should have just skinned this plate off of it and then fixed the underneath. But that being said, what we wound up doing is, well, I put water in it, so I welded the bottom up, and I knew when I was welding it, all right? So I welded this up here, this hole here, and I thought either that's cracked back there underneath that plate where I can't see it, or the material, dirt and grime, is getting in between this plate and the tank surface, and it's rubbing a hole in it, is what I think's happening. Because they left all these open spots here. They just had these tacked, just like they had this tacked. So I welded it here, and I welded it here, and I filled it up with water again, and then it started leaking out here. You know, so what I did is I went around all these solid, and it's water's clear to the top right now in this, and there's no leaks on it. So I feel confident now. I'm going to paint it and take it back over there and put it in. It's looking pretty good. I'm happy. I'm happy. Finally. I had about, I don't know, it's noon. I got about 5 hours of welding and dicking around with it, but still, I mean, that's way cheaper than $3,500. And I think it'll be fine now. I think, like I said, I think the surface area of all this, instead of those small tacks, and that thing's got some bumpers on it that come up, as you can see, some of them here, and then this was coming up against that plate in spots too, and I think it'll press on it evenly all the way around instead of putting pressure on those tacks in individual spots and putting all that. That's my theory anyway. I hope I'm right. No. All right, so let's see here. That one there I tightened with a wrench, so anyway. I guess I can pull this plug out down here. And then we'll give her a good painting and Take her over there and stick her back in there. Alright guys, we got her. Well guys, we got her all painted up. We'll throw her in the back of the truck there and we'll haul it over there and stick her back in the hole. Bet that hose is hitting the top of that valve body. Yeah, that is what is going on, is the hose. Come on, baby. Get out there. We're almost there. Put a little paint right there and then get that spot. I can move it over, I think, where I want it. I think we're there. Does it not seem like it's sitting down right? It doesn't seem right. Something don't seem right. Oh, I see. When the rubber stops, it's not. Elbow on the other end somehow got past the hole. What I gotta do is go in that end first. Like that. maybe finally sitting down square now. Alright. Just get underneath it and make sure. Always makes you nervous, those sight glasses, that you break one of those wrestling the tank around. Oh, you got it here. No, it's not sitting down on this end down here. You can see it. It ain't sitting down all the way. I gotta figure out what the hell's going on there. Huh. What's going on here? Why are you not? There it is. Okay. Now it's sitting in there. Right. Okay. Dirty bastard. I guess we're already standing here, might as well shove it on over, put this back in there. Yeah, I took one of the bolts. Oh, there he is. And I just dropped that one on the ground. Now let me fetch the bolts and put this in, and I cleaned up over there on this side real good. I figured this side's open. We could take the pressure washer once we get it running and clean this up. Alright. Do something with this impact wrench. Get this one hose on here. I need to look at the headers on these. Another ranch over here, they got one of these swathers, and I'd have to call him and ask him. He showed me the other day, and I can't remember. It had an oil feed problem that ran all the bearings and everything that runs the knife gearboxes, and the oil got plugged up with crap, and it didn't get any oil feed, and it ruined the headers. What it did. And these headers are like $40,000, and they can't get one. Last I heard, they couldn't get one. So I says, we better look at that on these. We don't need that shit going on. I will say this. These John Deere swathers, not very impressed with them at all. The amount of bearings that go out on them constantly. This one here, both of these actually. The other guy that used to work here, he changed, the axles were breaking on them. Out here, I'll have to show you, I'll show you where they were breaking at. But I was talking to him, he said, yo, really watch those on those things, those axles will break. So I don't know, seems like the New Hollands, we didn't have near that many problems with the, but all these rotaries, I mean, all these rotaries, they cut hay a lot faster, but I don't really know what you're gaining by speeding up and going faster in the field. Yeah, they got nice air rad suspension on them, and yeah, you may not feel it in the cab, but I can still tell you the machine feels it, and it just beats the living shit out of them. And so to me, you're spending more time working on the machine because it's torn up all the time. I don't really see what you're gaining by going faster, because you're really not going faster, because I mean, and these knives are always worn out. I mean, some of these guys are changing knives every damn day. So I don't see the benefit of the rotary. I think an old sickle bar machine header, it goes slower, you're not working on it near as much. To me, I don't know, it just seems like a better alternative than this. But I don't know, it's just me. I gotta get. Okay, is that about my damn safety glasses. Shit falling in my eyes. This should not bother me too much when I was younger. I hate shit falling in my eyes anymore. I hate that shit. I don't even know if you can see what the hell we're doing there, but and I'm gonna put all those T's and all that other stuff back in there. At least these hoses, you know, the machine's new enough that them hoses didn't come off of there real hard. That's what I was expecting. That's the reason that thing popped me in the lip yesterday and buddied my lip. It's because of that. I was just expecting a lot harder pull, so I pulled on that dirty bastard real hard, and it come off there real easy and popped me right in the mouth. That's how I got the big chip out of my tooth. Well, it wasn't like that, but I had a torquing a head down on an ISX Cummins and socket broke. Oh, that was probably a Chinese socket. Awesome shitbird. Actually, no, it wasn't a Chinese socket. It was a... wasn't a snap-on. It was a Mac socket. But yeah, Mac sockets and snap-on sockets, they don't break. Only Chinese sockets break. What a stupid fuck. Maybe they might break more often, the Chinese ones. I will have to agree with that, but I can show you a whole drawers full of shit from Mac and Snap-on that's sitting in my toolbox broken. Some of these guys are real big about the name brand shit, man. It's just unbelievable. When you're a field mechanic and you're out here and you're human, you're gonna leave shit laying in places. I'm not gonna leave a Snap-on $100 end wrench laying there when I could go get a $10 one from Harbor Freight and lose it and not feel that bad about it. You know, it's just common sense, which isn't so common anymore. But well, guys, we got everything buttoned up. Already ran it once. I'm gonna run it again just to make sure. I don't want to sit in the seat because I'm filthy. Yeah, I put another 5 gallons in it from what I took out. Well, about 4 of that, about maybe 3 gallons was a dirty bucket and I didn't want to pour it back in there anyway, but it's up on the add line, so it needs more. It was pulling up on the bottom of this tank right here and it'd run right down this hose. Well, only time will tell. I gotta put the sheet metal on it. Put the top back on. What am I seeing here? Why is the top of that wet? Probably from me spilling it when I was pouring oil in it. Oh shoot, I got a rag put the sheet metal back on. Run it a little while, need to change some hydraulic filters, put new filters on it. My idea there is let them old filters catch some of the shit material that might have got in there. Should have stayed pretty clean on me. But anyway, let me get the sheet metal on top of it. Well guys, got all the sheet metal back on. Need some Windex or something. I kind of got the window all leaning on it and stuff. It looks all right. Yeah, it's a lot better than it was, but I gotta change the hydraulic filters. I gotta go over there and that John Deere Gator I was working on, man, I'm almost rebuilding that damn thing. The little front drive line going to the full drive from the transfer case, the little CV boots on it were ripped on it, so I pulled it out the other day when I was putting the front strut in and all that good stuff, and then I noticed the couplers, it's got a coupler that goes over the end of the shaft there that it's got a female on each end. One splines the drive line, one splines the pinion, and the other one splines the shaft on the transfer case. Well, the splines on the transfer case and the pinion look okay, but the splines are just almost going on the drive line where it slides over that on each end. So I said, man, we're gonna have to put another shaft in it. So anyways, I'm gonna go do that before I go home, and maybe I'll be done with this ranch for a couple of days. I've been over here at this ranch for the last 2 or 3 days. It's been one thing after another. So anyways, all right guys, there's the W235. I'm gonna let it set today, and if it's leaking, I'll know tomorrow. So, well, actually I won't. I gotta go down. Shoot, I gotta go down to Eureka. I got that Timco that I was working on. They got the head and they're trying to plumb it, and it had a processor head on it, so it's got a bunch of hoses they don't need. So we got to figure out what goes where. Anyway, thanks for watching.